In today's deep dive, we uncover the controversial deal involving Adani Airport Holdings and Kenya's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, JKIA. Let's revisit a major political bombshell that was dropped about a week ago. It was Kimani Ngunjiri, not too long ago, who alleged that Kipchumba Murkomen, the Transport Cabinet Secretary, had been on the receiving end of hefty bribes from Adani Airport Holdings Limited. According to Ngunjiri, this money allegedly from Adani is what Murkomen has been using to fund his lavish lifestyle, expensive watches, shoes, and other luxury items.
Now, I want to tell you the truth about airport. From the information, reliable information, Murkomen was given 2 billion as a commission. Na hiyo kampani hiyo wa India. Hii pesa ndio hiyo ulikuwa nasikia anasema amenunua mshipi ya 500,000, amenunua saa ya 900,000, kiatu sijui ya pesa ngapi, sio pesa ingine, ni pesa hiyo ya airport.
But now, Adani has come out to refute these claims, stating that the money paid was a legal fee and that everything was above board. This sets the stage for an important discussion, one that raises serious questions about transparency and integrity in Kenya's political class. So what's the real story here? I'm Jennifer, and today we'll be breaking it all down for you, with Peter Tosh Williams being the brain behind this video. Let's start with where it all began. Kimani Ngunjiri, a vocal figure in Kenyan politics, claimed that Kipchumba Murkomen, who was at the centre of the Adani JKIA deal, had received bribes from Adani Airport Holdings. These claims rocked the airwaves, suggesting that the luxurious lifestyle Murkomen was flaunting, the watches, the shoes and lavish items, were all part of a larger corrupt scheme. The public was left wondering whether the country's main airport, JKIA, had been handed over in a shady deal. But just when we thought we had a scandal on our hands, Adani Airport Holdings hit back, calling the money in question a legal fee, raising even more questions about the transparency of this whole saga. In a legal response filed by Adani Airport Holdings Limited, the Indian infrastructure company insists that the payment of $50,000, roughly 6.47 million Kenya shillings, was a legitimate review fee for the due diligence process regarding the takeover of JKIA. According to their court filings, this payment was part of the company's compliance with Kenya's Public-Private Partnership (PPP) regulations, specifically directed towards the Public-Private Partnership Facilitation Fund. Adani's lawyers have made it clear that this payment was legal and necessary as they submitted their proposal to the Kenyan government to revamp JKIA through a $185 billion, 242 billion Kenya shillings investment. Adani stresses that they have submitted all the required documents, including tax compliance records, incorporation paperwork, and financial reports. This, they claim, was done to facilitate the necessary due diligence by the Kenya Airports Authority, KAA, and the Public-Private Partnership Directorate. However, despite Adani's claims of transparency, the Kenya Human Rights Commission, KHRC, and the Law Society of Kenya, LSK, were not convinced. In a case filed in September, these bodies sought to block the deal, raising concerns about the lack of adequate consultation and transparency. They argued that leasing Kenya's busiest airport to a foreign entity without full disclosure to the public was a recipe for disaster. But, according to Adani, these claims are premature. The company maintains that the project is still at the feasibility study stage and that it has not yet been approved. Their response also revealed that the Kenya Airports Authority had acknowledged receipt of their proposal in March, clearing it for further assessment. To understand the legal foundation of this deal, we need to look at the Public-Private Partnerships Act. This law allows the government to consider privately initiated proposals as long as they meet certain criteria. First, the project must align with the country's national infrastructure priorities, and second, it must provide value for money to the Kenyan public. But despite these assurances, public sentiment remains divided. While some see Adani's investment as a much-needed boost to the economy, others worry that this is just another example of Kenya's resources being handed over to foreign corporations without proper oversight. So, where does this leave us? The case is now in court, with all eyes on the upcoming October 8th hearing. The Kenya Human Rights Commission and the Law Society of Kenya are adamant that the deal must be stopped, while Adani Airport Holdings insists they have done everything by the book. With JKIA's future hanging in the balance, we'll have to wait and see how this legal battle unfolds. One thing is certain, this case has highlighted the growing tension between public-private partnerships and public accountability in Kenya. As we await the court's ruling, we can only hope that the interests of the Kenyan people are placed above all else. Before we wrap up, let's take a moment to reflect on Kipchumba Murkomen's behaviour, which left many Kenyans questioning whether power has clouded his judgment. In 2017 to 2022, Murkomen, once known as the sharp, articulate senator who stood as a pillar in Kenya's political scene, went live on Obina's show, proudly flaunting his newly acquired luxurious items: watches, shoes and other high-end accessories. He openly discussed their staggering costs. Now let's be honest for a moment, it's like if I, as Jennifer, who you've employed and pay fairly well, suddenly started wearing items far beyond what my salary could cover. If you knew exactly how much I earn, but saw me living a lifestyle that doesn't match that income, you'd probably wonder if I was dipping into funds elsewhere, right? It's the same with Murkomen. This sudden shift in lifestyle has raised eyebrows because many know exactly what a cabinet secretary's salary entails. His live display seemed reckless and out of character, especially for someone once lauded as one of the smartest voices in the Senate. During his days as a senator, Murkomen was seen as a super senator, someone who could navigate political waters with intelligence and finesse. But now people are left wondering, has the power gotten to his head? Has he become so immersed in the perks of his position that he no longer sees the dangers of flaunting wealth in a country where most people struggle to make ends meet? This kind of behaviour inevitably leads to suspicion. People will question the source of his sudden wealth, especially when the rumours about bribes from Adani are still fresh. Whether or not the accusations are true, publicly displaying wealth in such a way only fuels those suspicions. And for someone like Murkomen, who once stood on principles of integrity and intelligence, this shift feels jarring, leaving us to wonder, is it the power that has changed him? Or was this always lurking beneath the surface?
The other one was expensive. Yeah, let me just say the truth, because
nothing but
there's no point of lying that is not the truth. But it is not the cost that people present on social media, and the reason is because it was sold to me by my friend. Okay.
That's the story so far on the Adani JKIA saga. What do you think? Is Adani just another foreign company looking to exploit Kenya's resources, or could this be the big break JKIA needs? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Once again, this is Jennifer, bringing you the latest, with Peter Tosh Williams behind the lens and script. Stay tuned for more updates as this story develops. Until next time, stay informed and stay engaged. And always remember that tomorrow is a brand new day.